Welcome to Wawa Soundwire. Today we're talking about a really significant financial development. It involves a former prime minister and quite a substantial sum of money.
Indeed. A very large sum.
And this situation, it's definitely captured a lot of attention, hasn't it? It gives us a pretty clear look into accountability in public life.
Absolutely. We're looking at the forfeiture of over 169 million ringgit in cash. And this sum, it's now officially designated to the government.
Right.
It's not just a number,
Right.
It reflects the whole process within our legal framework, our anti-corruption efforts.
Okay, let's get straight into the core of it then. The main point is that Dato Sri Ismail Sabri Yaakob, our former prime minister, and his former political secretary, Dato Mohd Anwar, they chose not to challenge an application.
An application by the Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission, yes.
Exactly. And that choice, the decision not to contest, that seems absolutely crucial here.
That's right. Their decision means, well, basically, they didn't dispute the Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission's claim over that money.
So this huge sum, over 169 million ringgit in cash, money that was seized earlier.
Correct. It now officially becomes government property.
Yeah.
And importantly, without a long, drawn-out legal fight.
Which could have taken years, I suppose.
Potentially, yes. So this uncontested nature, it kind of stands out. It allows for a much quicker resolution regarding these assets.
So the money's ownership is settled. What actually happens to it now, this staggering amount? It doesn't just sit in a vault somewhere, does it?
No, absolutely not. The Chief Commissioner of the Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission, Tan Sri Azam Baki, he's confirmed this.
Okay.
Because there was no challenge, this money is going to be transferred pretty much immediately.
Transferred where?
Into the government's consolidated fund. And, for everyone listening, it's important to understand what that fund is.
Right, it's not just some general account.
Exactly. It's the main federal government account. It holds all the revenues, taxes, duties, and, yes, asset recoveries like this one.
I see.
So once it's there, Parliament can then decide how to use it. Public services, development projects. Basically, it goes back to benefiting Malaysians.
Yeah.
It's a direct path from seized assets to public money.
That's quite clear. But this then raises another big question, one I think many people are asking. Does this forfeiture, getting the money back, does it mean the investigation itself is over? Or, there won't be any further action? Especially thinking about that Malaysian family advertisement case that was mentioned before.
Yeah, that's where it gets a bit layered, legally speaking. It's important to separate the steps.
Okay.
Tan Sri Azam Baki, he clarified this. The forfeiture itself, that's really about getting the money secured for the government, a necessary procedure.
Right.
He also stated that the Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission's investigation work, their part, is actually complete.
Ah, okay. So their work is done.
And this is the key part, the decision on whether to actually prosecute anyone involved,
Yes.
that rests entirely somewhere else, with the Attorney General's chambers.
The Attorney General's chambers.
Yeah.
They're the ones who decide on charges.
Precisely. They look at the evidence, the public interest, and then decide whether to proceed with prosecution. So you have two distinct things happening: asset forfeiture and the potential for prosecution. Related, yes, but separate decisions.
That distinction is really important. You mentioned the Malaysian family campaign earlier, Keluarga Malaysia. Could you just briefly remind us why that became a point of focus? How might it connect here?
Sure. The Keluarga Malaysia campaign was a major initiative during Dato Sri Ismail Sabri Yaakob's time as PM, a big public relations and unity push.
I remember it well, yes. Lots of ads.
Exactly. It received significant funding, highly visible. The scrutiny came from questions about how that money was spent, transparency issues, procurement processes, were there irregularities, that sort of thing.
Okay.
Now, has there been an explicit public link drawn between these specific forfeited funds and that campaign? Not directly in the forfeiture announcements. But, the public naturally connects things when you have a former leader, a large sum of money seized, and a previous campaign that was already under some scrutiny regarding spending. The implication, or the question raised, is about potential misuse of funds.
So it's an association people might make, even if not officially stated in this context.
That seems to be the case, yes.
Okay, so we have this separation. The Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission investigates, gets the assets back, but the Attorney General's chambers decides on prosecution. This structure, is it designed for impartiality? Does it always feel that way to the public?
That's a really central question, isn't it, about public trust?
Yeah.
Theoretically, yes, the separation is meant to be a check and balance.
Mm-hmm.
The investigators gather facts, the prosecutors assess the legal case for court. It aims to prevent weak or, say, politically motivated cases.
Makes sense in theory.
But you use the term perception gap, and that's very apt. When you see a huge recovery, especially involving someone high profile, and charges don't immediately follow, people do ask questions.
Understandably.
They wonder if the process is truly complete, if justice has been fully served. And it raises that ongoing debate. How truly independent is the prosecution decision perceived to be, given the Attorney General's chamber's role advising the government?
Which brings us back to public trust overall. On one hand, great news, 169 million ringgit back for the nation. That's tangible.
Definitely a positive outcome for the Treasury, yes.
But on the other hand, the question about individual accountability, how these funds were amassed in the first place. That decision rests elsewhere and might take time or might not happen. How does this duality affect public perception of our anti-corruption efforts?
It's complex. People will absolutely see the recovery as a win. It shows the system can reclaim funds. That's a strong message from the Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission.
A visible success.
Right. But the follow-through, or the perceived lack of immediate follow-through on individual charges, especially in high-profile cases like this, that always sparks debate.
People expect both, maybe. The money back and clear accountability.
Often, yes. The public generally looks for a complete resolution, not just recovering assets, but also seeing that individuals involved face consequences, which acts as a deterrent, too. When those two parts seem disconnected, or the second part is pending, it can fuel discussions about how effective the whole anti-corruption system really is.
It highlights the difficulty, perhaps, balancing asset recovery with the complexities of billing a criminal case.
Exactly. It's a tough balancing act. You want the tangible financial recovery, but you also need to maintain public confidence that the pursuit of justice and integrity is thorough, regardless of who is involved.
And when you're dealing with such large sums and former leaders, public scrutiny is intense. People expect clarity, transparency, a resolution that feels complete.
They absolutely do. They watch these processes closely. They want reassurance that the system works fairly decisively. Any ambiguity can feed cynicism, which isn't healthy.
How might this specific outcome, forfeiture confirmed, prosecution pending, influence things going forward? Maybe anti-corruption strategies, or even just how engaged the public stays?
Well, this whole situation, from the seizure, the uncontested forfeiture, to Azam Baki's statements, it really throws a spotlight on that core tension.
The tension between recovering money and ensuring accountability.
Precisely. How do we balance getting public funds back quickly with the demand for full accountability, for deterrent action against anyone potentially involved in financial wrongdoing? It's not just about this case. It's a fundamental challenge for governance, for maintaining public trust.
A challenge faced everywhere, I suppose.
Indeed. It makes us think about the rule of law, about public confidence in institutions. And maybe for you, the listener, it's worth considering. Is an uncontested forfeiture, getting millions back swiftly, a pragmatic win, even if questions about individual culpability might linger for a while?
It's certainly food for thought. This has been a really insightful look into a major development here in Malaysia, unpacking the layers of finance, law, and public perception.
Yes. It's crucial to understand these mechanisms, how they function, and the questions they raise about governance and accountability in our nation. Thanks for exploring it with us.
Remember to like and subscribe for more videos like this.